Hello everyone, welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. So again, we're based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. We are a gaming group that used to play in stores, and stores have actually gone under, so we moved to basements and things like that. Occasionally we'll pop into a store. If you're in around Westchester, Northeast Maryland, Delaware, Philadelphia, please reach out to me. SirMC 2015 up on the website, up on Ninth Age. Reach out to me here on the board on YouTube, and we're always looking for like-minded individuals. Again, we're there. We are competitive at the same time. We want to have fun. We want to turn around and get games in. So please, definitely reach out to me. Now, this game upcoming is actually going to be with the new rules of 1.2. This is now my second game with this rules set, and it's different. It's taking me back, actually, to way some things used to be. As I remember at one point, you can only spend 25% of your points on characters. Now Dwarves can only spend 35%, and other armies vary. 25% of your army had to be spent on core, although that still hasn't changed from 1.1. I understand the rationale. I understand the reasoning for doing what they're doing. Is they want to curve away from extreme lists. The problem is that actually, I'm not going to even say it's a problem. The thing is that it is now curbing people's play styles, so that you are limiting the play styles involved, so that no matter what, a person has to have some level of moderation. Maybe not a lot, but some level. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just, it definitely is curbing the game from what it used to be, and in any of the editions, versus how you want to play. And before it was like you always had core, special, rare. Now it's core, characters, core, special, bombardment, shooting, monsters. So it's, to me, it's a different take on things. I'm interested to see how this plays out. I really, really am, because the one thing I love about the Ninth Age is if something isn't working out, if they find that it's too negative or having too much of a bad impact, they'll fix it. They'll rectify it. So before you're hasty to judgment, before you're like, oh my God, give it its fair shot. See what happens. See how your play is. And the most important thing is, are you having more fun? That's it. Because remember, if you're doing your own tournaments, your own gaming groups, I mean, the rules that the people, and they do this for free. I mean, these are people that, and it's not like it's, I'll spend 10 minutes here, 20 minutes here. This is almost like a second full-time job for these people. So please make sure you give them the absolute respect, whether or not you agree with what they're doing or not. But it's... that's their attempt, is not only just to have a tournament-based game, but a game that's fair, a game that's balanced, and a game that's fun to play for all parties involved. That's my soapbox for the day. On to the game. So today we have the Empire of Sunstall, played by Dan, versus Dwarven Holds. And Dan's like me. Dan and I met first over 10 years ago playing at a game store, and it's very, very funny because he was foolish enough to give me first turn when I was playing my Bretonnians, and he was playing Dark Elves, and I tabled him by turn 3 or 4, and that was in a tournament, so I don't think he ever made that mistake ever again. Anyway, getting back to what's going on is, he's gone with me from playing 2,000 points to 2,250 to 2,500. So again, we're trying to prepare for this tournament, but with the new rules set, we didn't know how the tournament was going to be. We're playing 2,250, which equates out to be the 4,500 with all the new rules. So all the points is from the new rule books and everything else, And I'm going to give you the best that I can remember of the armies. Again, I don't have them listed, so I do apologize. Going from his left to his right, because here's our board. We had diagonal deployment. And I believe it's hold your ground. I don't remember what our secondary objective is. So he's got a unit of knights. I know that looks like they are in lance formation because why not? Yeah, he doesn't have a rank, but he doesn't get a rank anyway. So he does that. So he loses 3 horses attacks. Whoop-de-doo. Welcome to the Kingdom of Equitaine. And that's also one of his other armies that he's been trying to play. He's got his steam tank. He's got 2 units of 32 or 40 Imperial Guard with a Warrior Priest and a BSB in one, a Grand Marshal in the other, and he's got his level 4 Mage behind that. He's got unit of Halberdiers next to them, and he's got a unit of Militia, and in the back he has his cannon. On my side, going from left to right, again, there's my my vanguarding warriors, my unit of Deep Watch. I've got my another unit of 10 warriors, then my marksmen. I got my spear dwarves. I have my forge wardens. I have an organ gun and a cannon with an engineer. I brought the engineer this time because my cannon last game didn't hit a thing. And I'm like, I need it. And on the far side, that redhead stepchild is another Vengeance Seeker. It is not a character. It is a Vengeance Seeker, which is a special choice, which does the 3d3 attacks, initiative 10, always strength 5 due to the weapons. And we started placing 1, 1, 1, 1, and then I'm like, I want first turn. So I dropped everything, and that's how he ended up finished his deployment. So Dwarves turn 1. Organ Gun takes out, I don't know, 2, 4, 6, at least 6 of his models. And nothing else really occurred. His turn 2. So here's a picture of the board at this point. He splits his knights, and his steam tank, he didn't want his steam tank to go as far as it did. And he did that. I'm like, I start drooling and salving going. I've got the flank of the steam tank. I'm going to get my king in there, who is strength 7 on the charge. I know that thing's unbreakable, but it's only got 7 wounds, and then I should be able to hold out with the grind. I'm not worried about it. I move my warriors up to try to be a chaff. I move my spear dwarves up, and that's it. You know. So again, he turns around and kills 4 of them via shooting from his tank. His cannon kills my cannon, turn 1. So now it's turn 2. And you'll see that my cannon is still there. The reason my cannon is still there is he did 3 wounds. With the new rules, they're only toughness 4, 5 wounds. I understand why they did it. I actually don't have a problem with increasing the wounds to and decreasing the toughness. I absolutely don't mind that at all. However, one thing to keep in mind, and in case anyone else here has missed it, is if you get a artillery piece, a war machine, in combat, it is hit automatically. Can't say how I feel about that. Actually, no, I will say how I feel. I don't like that rule. Because are you trying to kill the crew or break the machine? And most things would be trying to kill the crew because it's really difficult to try to break one of those machines because all it is a hollowed out cylinder. So, I mean, and a lot of lumber with steel running through it. So it's easier to kill the people working it than it is to kill the machine as they try to defend it. With that said, I understand why they did it. I hope that's a rule that they get back to, being hit automatically. I think you still need to hit the crew of a war machine because it's already too easy to kill a war machine. And now that they're hit automatically, again, it's not how I feel about it, but that is how I feel. So, I turn around, I charge the steam tank. I did a long bomb charge my great weapons into his unit of cavalry. Again, I was going, yes, I know they have a 1-up armor save, but I'm strength 6 on the charge, -3 to his armor. I'm hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s. I'm liking my odds right now. Shooting, I turn around and I kill, and I hate that thing. I absolutely hate that thing. The wagon cart. Pretty sure I blew that up using my organ gun. And no, I did not do that. I did that with the cannon. So the cannon actually did something this game. And that was that. My Forge Wardens killed 4 Halberdiers. Those, I think, was either my handguns or my organ gun. And Chucky. So let me go back a few picks here. So I forgot about that charge. So I charged his militia. He actually tried to charge Chucky Light and failed. So I countercharged him into that. Or no, he tried shooting at me as I was in the cover and everything else. So fails to do a wound. I charge in, and I think he does 1 wound to me. Let me go back to that pick. So he does 1 wound to me. Meanwhile, I killed 2 of his. To me, that's very unlucky, but I actually won combat, but he stuck. Over here, I did 1 wound. He does 2. I'm going, how did that just happen? Really? How did that just happen? Bad luck. Empire turn 2. He declares a charge on my Forge Wardens, so my Forge Wardens open up, kill another 5 of them, and let's see. He gets in with his Halberdiers. He charges in with his Imperial Guard with his General and one of those Warrior Priests into my Spear Dwarves that holds my BSB. And that was it. Pardon me. It's 1 o'clock in the morning here. He killed 2 of my Forge Wardens, and meanwhile, I decimated him. Now, here's the one thing, is because the unit is a parent unit to his left there, is within 6 inches, and has more ranks than the other unit, he can actually use their ranks and claim steadfast. So that's what happens here. So I definitely won combat, but he claimed steadfast based off of that because they still had a rank of 5, so they stick around. My Spear Dwarves stick around. And over here, I did another wound. He fails to wound me. That's it. Chucky. Chucky Light is almost as dangerous as Chucky himself. Kills 4 or 5 of them and wins that combat. Over here, I lost 3. He lost 4. And he charged me. He has 2 buff spells up right now. I'm sorry, he killed 5 of mine. But I have more. Yeah, I have 1 more rank than he does, so I'm steadfast. Dwarves turn 3. And I'm still tied up with that steam tank. Meanwhile, is like, I forget how many rounds of combat go on. That steam tank was the bane of my existence this game. It really, really was. So he's feeling fairly confident, and it felt like the tide was swinging his way. And meanwhile, I'm like, I think I can do some damage here. See what happens. So Chucky gets into the cannon. He's going, how many points is that thing? 120 points? Oh my god. Because again, it just decimated that other unit, which was 140 points. It's going to take out the cannon. That's I don't know how many points his cannon is. My cannon is 270 points. It's not worth it. A cannon to me at this point, even with the penetrating rolls and everything else, is not worth it for 270 points. And let's see. Over here, my organ gun opens up, kills another 2, 4, 6, something ridiculous out of that unit over there. And over here, I kill another 2 knights, and I catch them and kill them. Over here, grinding. He just is grinding that unit. It's just something ridiculous, 600-point unit. He's just grinding it out with them. So I lost another 5, and I've done 1 wound. 1 wound to that steam tank so far. It was just like, wanted to just hit my head on concrete. That's how I felt fighting that steam tank, because I could not wound it. Again, those of you who have heard some of my other commentaries, monsters and critters such as the steam tank are the bane to dwarves. I mean, yeah, you can go after it with a cannon, although I have to turn around. I think cannon's 10 then 3, or versus a bolt thrower, which is 3 then 6. But I don't know. And honestly, the bolt thrower, the organ gun, I think at this point in time are better than cannons. Let's see. That's that. But of course, I hold over here. That slugfest is still going on. But my Forge Wardens turn around and get them down to 2, and they stuck. That's all I can say is they stuck. Yeah, I think he rolled Snake Eyes. He did 3 wounds to me. I did 2 to him with all his buffs. So now it's his turn 3. Finally kill those 2. And that's all I can say. Finally kill them. Over here, I think I did 2 wounds. He did 3 wounds. And I've got 2 wounds on my BSB. That's it, turn 4. And I charge into the flank of his Imperial Guard there. I did a reform last turn with my King with tank because I didn't want that huge Imperial Guard get into combat without me being able to touch that, whatever that thing is, that the Warrior Priest that he has up there. And that's it. Meanwhile, his knights are making its way across the board. Kill another. Organ Gun's earning its points. That's all I can say. Go Organ Gun. Over here, I lost 2. Again, nothing to that steam tank. Nothing. Good day, sir. Over here, again, he did another 3 wounds to that unit, but we're just slugging it out. And he did manage to kill my BSB at this point, even with the -1 wound. Over here, it's Empire turn 4. So he just moves up. He charges his knights into my handgunners. And that's it for movement. We're running out of things left on the board. Although Chucky is, in case you wonder where Chucky is, let's see. I don't. There he is. He is charged into the side of that unit there, and he's got during this battle he's got 2 wounds on him at this point in time, and he's still there in that flank, and he's actually winning some combats too. Over here, his grind does 1, and finally, his grind does 1, and finally gets some wounds put on that thing. I get 4 wounds. Next combat, he killed 3 of them, and I think I killed 1 of his. Or no, oops on my part. I took that missing knight of his, and it was sitting on top of the die, which is what I was using to represent what turn it was. We did put it back and gave him that extra attack, which missed, but still kind of funny. I'm steadfast, so they stick around off leadership 10, and we're still grinding this out. So he lost 4. Maybe I lost 1 of my Forge Wardens. That's it. I easily win that combat, but again, they are stubborn. So now it's Dwarves turn 5. That's a picture of my unpainted BSB, which I am actually really looking forward to painting him. He's going to be a lot of fun. Look kind of nasty when he gets fully painted. So here's that depleted unit of Imperial Guard. Got shot again by my organ gun. Finally killed that steam tank. He did another wound to me. I finally killed that steam tank because, again, the more wounds you do, the less of grinds it does. Over here, he does 1 wound there, and now it's turn 5. Here's a picture of the board. He charges his Imperial Guard into my unit, and the one thing with this new rule set is that all characters now have 3 wounds. Or most characters have 3 wounds. Not all, but majority of characters. So I want to go after his, whatchamacallit, and after his Warrior Priest. And that's it. I managed to charge in my Warriors. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens this turn. Turn 6, just bad juju all around. He ends up killing my Vengeance Seeker, but he took another 3 of them with him. Now, mind you, that was a unit of, I want to say, 40 or 41 spearmen that I went into the flank of. And the reason why he didn't reform is he didn't want to give me access to his mage, because that's who my guy would have went after. So I was very happy. I mean, he killed... How many did he kill? He killed 3, 6, 8, 12, 14 of those spear models. He definitely earned back his points for that little Vengeance Seeker just by killing the other 2 units and then doing that. Over here, we did that reform. Both my opponent, Dan, and I agree, is the way the reform rules now are. You pick your unit up and you move it so you get more people in contact. I understand the meaning. I understand the basis behind it. It's just the whole thing about picking your unit up and then repositioning it in such a manner where I actually do miss the old style reform where you just took your back ranks and had them form a new rank on either side of your unit to add to the number of models attacking. Not the way the rules are written. I'm not the one making them. I'm enjoying playing the game. But if powers to be are watching this, I really would prefer that than picking your unit up. I want to use it because, you know, that's the way the rules are. But I'd rather it the other way. This is turn 6. So what ends up happening, I'm not sure if I have pictures of this later on, is I end up losing my Spear Dwarves this turn. I end up losing basically everything back there. My king, who and his unit failed to wound, and the only thing that kept that he did 1 more wound than I did, because I failed to wound. He did 1 wound to my king's unit, and I failed a leadership 10. And without my BSB, bye-bye. That's that. I think Organ Gun opened up there. Yep, there's that 1 wound. And I run, I break. He pursues, catches me, gets into that next combat, and just pulverizes the next unit. Look, it's a victory of Empire Sansol. That's just it. I mean, we did roll it out, but we didn't figure out how many points were left on the board. But flat out, just victory, if not a major victory for him. This is now his 2nd victory over me. So, Dan, if you're watching this, game well played. I can't say either one of us really played poorly. It really came down to luck of the dice with this one. So this was a great game. This was so much fun to play against. And for the MVPs, his Warrior Priest with those boostable buffs and things like that definitely were his MVP because they kept his units alive and in the game. If not, I had the game. And for Dwarven Hulls, that Vengeance Seeker, taking out what it did, again, if it wasn't for those 5-up ward saves that he kept putting up on his units, where he has spells and then those, just job well done. Great, enjoyable game. Vengeance Seeker, if you're playing Dwarves, take them. If you're playing against Dwarves, shoot them. First thing, shoot them. I would actually put them on a higher priority list above a cannon because I've never been a cannon fan of cannons, and I just don't think they earn back their points normally. So that's it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and until next time, bye.